Welcome to Chapter 6, Part 3 of the worksheet.
Chapter 6, Essential Outcomes. By the end of the chapter, you should be able to prepare a worksheet for a service business by identifying accounting concepts and practices related to the preparation of a worksheet. 2. Be able to prepare a heading and a trial balance for the worksheet. Calculate and plan adjustments for supplies and prepaid insurance. Complete the balance sheet and income statement sections of a worksheet. Be able to identify procedures for finding and correcting errors in accounting records. And connect key terms in the chapter with application.
Three, Accounting Terminology, and welcome back. Balance sheet. The balance sheet is a financial statement that reports the accounting equation assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity on a specific date. The income statement is a financial statement showing revenue and expenses and determining net income or net loss for a fiscal period. Net income is the difference between total revenue and total expenses when revenue is greater than expenses. Net loss is the difference between total revenue and total expenses when expenses are greater than revenue. The balance sheet section on a worksheet. The balance sheet section shows the amounts on hand at the end of a fiscal period after all of the adjustments. The income sheet section on a worksheet shows the amount expired or used up during the fiscal period after all the adjustments have been made. It is now time to extend our account balances from our trial balance to our balance sheet section, columns 7 and 8. First, we will extend our debit balances without adjustments. 2, we will then extend our debit balances with adjustments. Remember, the debit balances with adjustments should equal the amount on hand at the end of the fiscal period. Then we will extend our credit balances without adjustments. Now it is time to extend our trial balance accounts to our income statement section of the worksheet. Step 1, we will extend our revenue balance, which is our sales balance, to the credit column of the income statement on columns 5 and 6. Then we will extend our balances without adjustments to the debit columns of the income statement. And then we will extend our balances with adjustments to the income statement. It is now time to determine whether we have a net income or a net loss. Step 1, we will single rule columns 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we will calculate our totals for columns 5, 6, 7, and 8. We will write those totals in on line 19. The third step is to determine whether we have a net income or a net loss. A net income is whenever our revenue is greater than our expenses. A net loss occurs whenever expenses are greater than revenue. In this case, our revenue credit column is larger than our expense debit column. So this means that we have a net income. So we will subtract $1,466 in our debit account from $3,565 in our credit column. The difference is $2,099. We will now record net income underneath the account title on line 20, and then in the debit column for the income statement, we will record $2,099. Since we have a debit in our income statement column, we are going to extend that net income across to the credit side of the balance sheet. Remember, because we are doing double entry accounting, we always need a debit and a credit. Then we will single rule columns 5, 6, 7, and 8. We will add up our totals. If you look closely, the income statement totals should equal each other. The balance sheet totals should equal each other. But notice the income statement and the balance sheet totals are not the same. If the debit and credit side of the income statement equal, and the debit and credit sides of the balance sheet side equals, then you can double rule. If they do not, then you have to go back and find the error. What happens if we have a net loss? We will draw a single line across columns 5, 6, 7, and 8. We will add up our totals in columns 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we will look at our income statement debit and credit columns. If our debit column is larger than the credit column, we have incurred a net loss. So on line 20, underneath the account title, we will write the word net loss. Then we will record $400 in our credit column underneath our income statement. Then we will extend the $400 across to our balance sheet debit column. Because we are using double entry accounting, whenever we have a credit, we have to have a debit. Then we will single rule columns 5, 6, 7, and 8. Add up our column totals. If our income statement debit and credit and our balance sheet debit and credit equal each other, then we will double rule. If they do not, we have to go back and find our error. In summary, to prepare a worksheet: 1. Write the heading. 2. Record the trial balance by using the account balances in the general ledger. Record the supplies adjustments. Record the prepaid insurance adjustments. Prove the adjustment columns. Extend all balance sheet account balances. Extend all income statement account balances. Calculate and record the net income or the net loss. Total and rule the income statement and balance sheet columns only if debits equal credits. Here is an example of how you complete the worksheet. You do step 1, step 2, In summary, the balance sheet section is completed following the adjustment columns to complete the accounting equation. The income sheet section is completed after the balance sheet section to determine net income or net loss. Net income or net loss is determined after you have completed both the balance sheet section and the income statement section by subtracting your total expenses from total revenue. Congratulations, you have finished part 3. Please open your accounting book to page 166 for directions. Before starting, open your accounting book also to page ABC in chapter 6. You will need working paper page 121, This is the same working paper that you use for 6-1 and 6-2. Please complete this assignment. If you need assistance, please let me know. Congratulations, you have just finished part 3. Please make sure you have shown me your work before moving on to part 4.